I don't even know where to begin. It feels like this team is cursed or something. The Colts just lost 36-19 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's talk about it. First off, I was in attendance for this game. Watching this game in person was really hard to watch. Watching these games in person, you can really see a lot that won't come across over your TV. And one of the biggest things I noticed right off the rip was the energy. The energy level seemed off. I don't know if it was because of the weather. It was freezing down there in Jacksonville. It was like 40 degrees. It was pouring raining. I don't know if that played a factor into the vibe of the team, but this team just seemed like they didn't want to play. One of the biggest elephant in the room obviously is going to be our quarterback, Daniel Jones, who unfortunately and very sad, honestly, went down with an Achilles tear in his other leg in the first quarter of this game. I knew it was bad from the beginning because as soon as he threw the pass, he went down. It was a non-contact injury, and those are never, ever a good sign. Tried to walk off the field and then had to sit back down because it was not good. That stuff lingers on the football team, and it carried down the entire game. Very early into this game, we had to rely on our 6th round rookie quarterback, Riley Leonard. I'm going to cover Daniel Jones in a whole nother video. I want to talk more about the game itself, the team, and not just focus on Daniel Jones. Our defense did absolutely nothing to stop this Jaguars offense. And in my last video, I went on and on about how this team is very play action heavy. A lot of their passes go across the middle of the field. Jacksonville went up and down this field on this Colts defense. The Colts defense allowed, by the way, the most points that we've allowed in the entire season, which is 36. We gave up the most points this season to the Jaguars offense. This isn't the most high-powered offense in the world. This isn't like the Rams offense. This wasn't Joe Burrow. This was Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars, who put up 36 points on the Colts defense, who's supposed to be a good defense with Lou Anarumo as our defensive coordinator and all of the pieces that we've accumulated on the offseason to make this defense stronger. And we gave up the most points that we've allowed all season in this football game. And of course it comes against the Jaguars. Of course it does, because the Jaguars has had our number for 11 straight consecutive years now. This loss has made it 11 fucking years since the Colts have won a football game in Jacksonville. And I am beyond pissed off about this game. Regardless of the fact that we lost our starting quarterback, Daniel Jones, I honestly believe that even if he played the entire game, this team wasn't gonna win regardless. And our very first possession on our own side of the field, we threw a fucking interception. The very first play from scrimmage for the Colts offense, Daniel Jones threw a pick. We were in a hole very early in this football game. Jacksonville marched the ball up and down the field on the Colts. It don't matter if you had Daniel Jones back there. It didn't matter if we had Riley Leonard back there. Hell, they could have pulled Anthony Richardson off of IR and put his ass back there. Colts were going to lose this game regardless. Jacksonville came to play. They came ready to handle business. It was like they understood the assignment and the Colts did not. Jonathan Taylor, oh my God. I don't know what the hell has happened to Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what is going on, but Jonathan Taylor has been non-existent for this football team since week 10. Jonathan Taylor has not had a 100-yard rushing game since the Falcons game back in week 10. That alone is why the Colts offense has become so off balance, because Jonathan Taylor is supposed to be a massive part of this offense and he's non-existent, which is forcing us to throw the ball a lot more than we would like, I'm sure. And defenses can just sit back and pin their ears back because Jonathan Taylor isn't averaging more than 2 to 3 yards per carry. They know we're in passing situations, and what do? They drop back in coverage and they just play the pass. Now that our quarterback is out, I don't think the Colts are going to win any more games. This is a team that was 7-1. We were the number 1 team in the division, and we had the number 1 seed in the AFC. The Colts are now 8-5. We're not even in the playoffs anymore. We've been pushed to in the hunt. It is not good. This is not good for the Colts. I am not sure what the hell is going on with this football team. I don't know if we can pin all of this onto Shane Steichen. A part of me wants to, and I know a lot of Colts fan wants to pin the entire situation onto Shane Steichen. And trust me, I've been sitting up here blaming him for why the offense has been struggling, especially against Kansas City and Houston. But watching this team yesterday, I can't blame him for for this loss, considering the fact that we did lose Daniel Jones right after we did score a touchdown. And then on top of that, you have Riley Leonard, who was a 6th-round draft pick. Throw him in there and we're already losing. It was a lot for him to handle. Like, Riley Leonard didn't play bad. I mean, he wasn't horrible. He didn't go out there and look like fucking Blaine Gabbert. The coaching seems like it's not getting to the football team anymore. Whatever Shane Steichen was preaching to this team, it doesn't stick anymore. It seems like this team doesn't care. It seems like the energy on this team isn't the same. It seems like this team isn't competitive anymore. And I don't know if that solely falls onto Shane Steichen. I would assume it does, because he's the fucking head coach. When you have a team out there who seemed like world beaters, to now we've lost 3 consecutive games, 2 within the division, and our defense gives up 36 points, the most they've given up the entire season, then you start to question if it's just business decisions being made on the players. And I know a lot of people are going to want to blame Shane Steichen for this, but this head coach did have the Colts in a premier position for the majority of the season. He did, like I said, we were 7-1, we were 8-2. So Shane Steichen did necessarily have the Colts in position to have everything we ever wanted. And for whatever reason, this team seems to have completely collapsed. Jonathan Taylor's production has been absolutely piss poor since the bye week. And our defense, arguably, we were playing very well for the majority of the season. But you can't go out there in a game like this where the magnitude is this high and allow 36 points to be dropped on your head from a mediocre offense, if we're being honest. And then it also doesn't help that now we've lost our starting quarterback for the entire season. I don't know what the hell is going to happen the rest of the season. Right now, at the time of this recording, we only have one quarterback that can play. I don't know the direction of this football team right now. I don't know what is going to happen the remainder of the season. Our next couple of games, we have to play the Seahawks, we have to play the 49ers, Houston, and Jacksonville. We're going against 4 teams that are all 4 in the playoffs. It's not looking good for the Colts. I'm not confident that we're going to win any more games this season, especially now that we don't have a fucking quarterback. We might go from 8-2 to 8-9. That is a realistic possibility for the Colts right now. And if that happens, this is arguably the biggest collapse in Colts history. This may go down as the biggest collapse in NFL history. So it'll remain to be seen. There are going to be a lot of question marks going into the offseason regarding our quarterback situation, maybe our head coach, hell, maybe our GM. All of this will go into question, I'm sure, at the end of the season, especially if we finish the season with a below 500 record. I can handle a loss. I'm okay taking losses, but I cannot accept the loss when our team doesn't look competitive, when we don't look like we're there to compete. That's when it becomes different from being a sore loser to just being pissed off that your football team is showing absolutely no fucking effort. And that's what I saw yesterday in the stands. No fucking effort. 0 on both sides of the football. Just no effort. This is what you get. You get beat 36-19 to your division rival and lose for the 11th straight year. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you feel as though Shane Steichen should be on the hot seat right now? Do you feel Chris Ballard should be on the hot seat right now? Or are we just going to sacrifice this season to injury? Let me know, and I will catch all of you guys in the next video. Peace.